Entertainment. Where's the line? How far do we want to go for the sake of entertainment? You know what I mean? When you think about track and field, are you a purist, or do you think we should try new things in order to get people to pay attention to the sport, to grow it, to captivate more of an audience? You look at other sports like basketball. They added the 3-point line. They didn't always have that. They added it in. They added in the mid-season tournament now. Why'd they do that? Fans thought the regular season was boring, so they added it in. You know what I mean? They added the play-in, so people were more compelled to play harder during the season, get more wins, try harder, show up for the people who actually want to pay their money to come watch regular season races. Track and field, I feel like, is one of those sports that holds on to the purity of the sport and doesn't want to adapt. So there's been some things where we tried over the years. And so let's talk about it.
All right, let's go, baby.
All right.
Let's go. I'm ready.
On your mark. Set.
That was a tie! 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 That was a tie!
Let's watch the video.
That was a tie!
Where's the video?
Was that not a tie? That was a tie! I'm the fastest man alive! I'm the fastest man alive!
Whether or not you want.
Okay, so that was ISHO Speed versus No Lyles, the defending Olympic champion. What do you guys think? Were you a fan of that? Do you need more of that? Or, people in track and field who are trying to grow outside and appeal to a mainstream audience? Are you a fan of having these set up gimmick races? You know what I mean? Like, it does objectively do numbers. You look at the race on YouTube, on ISHOC's page. He's one of the biggest streamers in the world. It's going to get millions of views. It's going to get new eyes. People now are going to know Noah Lyles' name beyond just the track fans. But some people are like, nah, it's a gimmick. They don't deserve to be on the same track as the Olympic champion. What do you guys think, though? Where's that line? Should we have more of that? I don't know. Next. So that was Texas Relays. And let's run it back again. We had a little stare down action. Got in space a little bit. Popping and stuff. How do we feel about that, chat? You like it? Need more of that energy? I remember seeing a lot of the comments saying, like, we love this. We want more of it. We want to see more athletes, celebrate on people. It's kind of like when you get dunked on in the NBA and you stare them down, let them know what you just did. Go viral or farm a little bit. You know what I mean? But then you got the purists who are like, there's no place for this in track and field. We shouldn't have this in our sport. And then they wanted to disqualify him. You see he's getting talked to by the official. They definitely were hating. They didn't want to see any of that. I feel like as long as you're not fighting, bring it on. You know what I mean? Like, clearly he's going to feel disrespected, the Houston guy, but, he didn't swing on him. You know what I mean? He just walked off like, all right, I bet. I'm going to get you the next race. And this is Texas Relay, so they got to line up again at Nationals, and maybe it's a different story then. But if you walk someone down, why can't you celebrate? But I don't know. What do you guys think? Does that cross the line? Or should we have more of that for the sake of entertainment to grow the sport? Next.
They have the lead after the first 7 events. There are the lane assignments with Florida just ties the second. And Tech is really...
It's more than the same thing. I just want to really highlight the fact.
They pass first, and that is going to be a gap that's going to be tough to cover. Terrence Jones being
LSU was popping it all season.
Godson over Blue Man does not catch him. That
Tech,
is a great first event for
look
Texas
back at him,
Tech.
stared him down.
I
don't know. Do you guys like his energy?
And that's
Because to me, it's very
record run
I love it.
by the Red Raiders.
I love it. I wish we had more of it, to be honest. Because then it's like, all right, there's rivalries, they're talking their stuff.
The second all-time,
I want to come back and
which
watch.
was held by Florida. They ran
All the
You know what I mean?
Tigers,
Let's see if
but
we
it was
can get a
that
little
just
post in
excellent. He
slow-mo.
was able
this is my house. Look out
shots, and Ogan Improvement was right there behind him. And watch him look to the
Where
side,
you at?
let him know this is
Where
my
y'all at?
house. Woo, what a finish from those guys.
Come on, man.
That
I love it. It's more stuff to talk about. It's more compelling. Next.
All right, turning to news for sports and some tense moments on the track. Did you see that involving Alexandria's Noah Lyles and Kenny Bednarek, who shoved Lyles after the 200-meter run? Play it back for you. 200-meter dash at the U.S. Track Championship yesterday. So the pair also sharing some words. Lyles passing Bednarek in the final seconds of the race, looking over, staring him down in the process. And then after crossing the finish line, Bednarek puts his hands on him, pushes him. The two will get to compete against one another again in September at the World Championships in Tokyo. Something tells me this story is to be continued.
See that? We even got a plug for the World Championships. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Channel 4 News. Mainstream media covering it. Do you think they would be covering it if that didn't happen? I mean, I'm not saying we need more people pushing each other and stuff. That was, like, I think, an aberration. I don't think, people are going to get out here and start doing that. But it's just the fact that we had some drama. We had a rivalry. It wasn't all sunshines and rainbows, handshakes and stuff like that. Like, no, these guys were competitive. They wanted to win. Got a little spicy. And so add in a little bit more spice every now and then. What do you think? Too much? Do we cross the line? Hask. He says, what's up? What's up, bro? Welcome back to the stream. Track is so soft. It can be. I'm going to be honest. It can be. Especially the old heads, like they don't want to see the grow, man. But we gotta change things up. If you want to appeal to a wider audience, think about this. We have not just other sports that we're competing against, okay? We have streaming. We got Netflix, Hulu, Apple TV, HBO, all the shows that are on that. We got social media. You know what I mean? We got people who are living their lives, people who are fighting to earn money, working. People have families. People have very limited time. So if you're going to put something on TV, it's got to be worth it. You know what I mean? And a lot of track and field fans think, yeah, just running fast and whatever is entertaining enough. But for the casual fan, they want a little bit more. And so we got to adapt as a sport. So for me, clearly, I think the line should be pushed a little bit more. But y'all let me know. Am I bugging? Am I wilding? He says brings more eyes. Yeah, I agree. Have more stuff like this brings more eyes. Nice pod. Thank you. He loves spicy. A little spice never hurt anybody. Especially the field events, too buddy with the competition. I agree. I mean, you don't have to create fake rivalries and fake beef and stuff like that. Like, you don't want it to be forced, but if there's love lost, then show that, man. Anyways, got some more for y'all. This one.
Making the exchange to Dalmina. Here comes Sha'Carri Richardson.
Sorry about that, but y'all can put in your hands, I guess.
All the way to the line. USA wins gold.
Anyways, let me see if I get the replay.
That's why Sha'Carri said yes.
All right here.
She looked over once.
Another stare down. You know how viral that went? Everybody loved that moment. See, everybody who says, oh, you shouldn't do that. We should respect our competition, whatever. But then when they do it, they show it over and over because they know it's going to do numbers. They know it's going to be viral. So they're talking out of both sides of their mouth. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the protest at the Olympics. The fist. They love to show that now. Like, oh yeah, we love the solidarity. We love the movement. But at the time, he was, I think they kicked him out of the Olympic Village and they wanted to strip him of his medal when he did that. You know what I mean? So in hindsight, they always love it. When it does numbers, when it gets all the attention, they love it. But in the moment, they step on it. And I feel like we need to allow people to, express themselves, celebrate a little bit. Next. Hopefully this one's the right way.
Toyota Men's 200 is underway. Showdown between Noah Lyles and Arian Knighton right in the center lanes.
Look at Knighton, and you see him going past the world champion. He has been running storming turns. He's run another one. He has the lead.
Have a look at this, Arian Knighton. Now Noah Lyles finds an extra gear. The world champion is coming back at the King. He looks across and Lyles gets
Who
the
remembers
national
this name?
championship.
7 to 9. So Lyles over
Celebrated.
1967 to 1969. And they did it with a slight wind in their face. Fred Curley makes his second team, Sonia, and now at 200 meters.
Mad respect there to Noah Lyles, because coming finish line inside in lane that he would do that. Trusted himself, trusted. Oh, I still get.
Look at the head on.
Who's the world champion?
Look at that.
That's called being posterized right there.
Being posterized. I mean, look,
2019 form
I'm not-
again from Noah.
I'm not like a Noah Lyles fan or anything. I respect dude. He's one of the greatest 200 runners of all time. He's one of the greatest sprinters of all time. Let's be honest. He's the Olympic champion back to back in the 100. Sorry, Olympic champion in the 100, world champion in the 100, back to back champion in the 100. I'm not a big Noah Lyles fan, but I gotta call a spade. Dude has some entertaining moments, and he's one of the only people out there that does it. So I feel like he's making the sport more compelling. That's why he's probably the face of the sport right now, because he's willing to go out there and say stuff with that. I mean, think about it. He's had moments where him and Arion gone back and forth, him and Kenny gone back and forth, him and Fred gone back and forth, him and Christian gone back and forth. So everyone, him and Tobogo gone back and forth. You know what I mean? So like, it's him really making this stuff more compelling, making them watch races, whether you love him or hate him, you want to watch. All right, let's change gears a little bit. What do you guys think about this? Throw back a little bit. Clearly it was filmed with a potato, but you know, hopefully you guys can see which grain is Maury's green. The race, good race, but that's not the important part. I think everybody remembers this. Right after the race, you got to have the confidence too, to have a prop. You know what I mean? To plan this out, plan out the celebration. Anyways, everyone loves that. Everyone remembers this. You know, the fire extinguisher on the spikes. Very creative. You got to be able to win, first of all, because if you lose, you can't do it. But he won, did the fire extinguisher, and now he's immortalized. You know what I mean? A lot of people who don't even know track probably know that moment. They probably don't even know who that was. One of the greatest 100-meter sprinters of all time. But that moment transcended the sport. Was that too far? I know that the little girl tried to do that this year. I think it was in California at the state meet, and they disqualified her. You know, like she clearly was trying to have a viral moment, and they disqualified her for that. You know, so clearly the officials think it's crossing the line. What do you guys think? It all comes down to the person and personality. I agree. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm saying all this, and my personality type, I'm not the type to really go crazy like this and like flex on somebody unless they piss me off. I'm gonna be honest. But you know, I might try and do some other entertaining things. You know what I mean? Have fun in some different ways. But if that is your personality, let it show. You know, that's how we grow the sport. We need more villains, more people who are willing to like talk their stuff and celebrate and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Have an emotional moment, have a human moment. We can relate to that. Same, not a Noah, but he got his moments. I think you mean not a Noah fan. 20v1. Damn near. I mean, look, he taking on all challengers, and I gotta respect it. You know, it's like Kobe Bryant. I love Kobe Bryant now. Unfortunately, that he's passed. Rest in peace. But when I was younger, I was always a LeBron fan. And you know, back then when I was in high school, you know, my friend was a Kobe fan. I was a LeBron fan, and I was hated on Kobe. And I feel like that's the same way. Like I'm competing against Noah. You know, he's going against a lot of my teammates. He's Adidas. You know, so he's American. So a lot of it, I'm going against him. I want to see, you know, I'm not trying to see him win and stuff like that and celebrating all that stuff, you know. And I'm a huge anime guy, so when he does that, it's like, But I got to respect it. So just like I respected Kobe, I respect Noah. He's one of the greatest. So there's no glaze. It's just, I'm not a hater. I call it like I see it. Anyways, I got one more clip for y'all. And you guys let me know.
Poland have got a 5-second lead on the US. Polish.
Skip ahead a little bit.
Poland, Jamaica might, but can Great Britain?
So this is the mixed relay.
Martin Rooney
before
takes
they
it for
nerfed it.
Britain and Northern Ireland. No, I thought for a moment it was dropped. Just a check from Martin Rooney that might have
Hold
cost
on.
fractions as Bahrain come past.
I know you guys have seen this
Finished
point, this
very well
this part of the
yesterday.
race.
And the chase is on up front though because Michael Cherry is closing in.
This right
and
here.
Just speeding past Justina Svertiosetic, who can't panic here, and she knows, she knew this was going to happen here, but she's
So she
chasing
had the
medal,
lead,
and she's trying to hold up.
and you could choose whether you're going to run your man, woman, like what your order is going to be. I loved it, man. Look at this lead. Look at that. May God bless her. They tried it. They had her anchored, and she just got walked down by all the guys. But look, that made it fun, bro. Like, hold on, I'm gonna show it one more time just for the culture. Michael Cherry, man. Michael Cherry single-handedly ruined the mixed relay because once they showed that over and over and over, I know World Athletics was like, nah, we can't have this. It looks too bad. But that's what's fun. It's like it's strategy, you know. So clearly they thought that crossed the line for some reason, but it was entertaining. I'm always for the entertainment factor. You know what I mean? And for me, that was compelling. Are you gonna front load and then hold on for dear life, or are you gonna, you know, end it with a guy, try to walk everybody down? You know, like, yeah, I don't know. They ruined what something could have been so special. It had the making of being like one of the best events in track and field. And now it's just like another relay. Like, okay, the guys are going against the guys, the girls against the girls. It's just another 4x4. You might as well just keep the regular 4x4s, the men and the women. Like, why even mix it? You know? Anyways, what do you guys think? Does that cross the line? One more time. Michael Cherry. Ruined the event.
Very, very well yesterday. And the chase is on up front, though, because Michael Cherry is closing in and just speeding past.
That's not entertaining. Anybody can get behind that. You don't need to know, you know, who the athletes are in the race. I mean, it's a world meet, so you can see the countries, so you can root for your country. But this isn't the Olympics; it's the World Championships, and a lot of people don't casually watch track and field outside the Olympics. But you turn this on, you can see, oh my God, a guy against a girl, and like how they're going to strategize. Like, I don't know. I feel like that can appeal to a wider audience, but maybe that's too much. Anyways, that's entertainment. Where's the line? So all let me know in the comments. Which one of these do you like? Are you in or out? Did they cross the line? That's basically the name of the game for this episode. How far should we go in order to appeal to a wider audience? I just don't like Noah, but he's an entertainer. I mean, he might not be your cup of tea, but he is entertaining. Sometimes you just want to see the guy lose. I mean, it's like Mayweather. You know, a lot of people didn't like how cocky Mayweather was and showing off his money and all that stuff. And he was undefeated. So every time he fought, you might have tuned in just to see if he was going to lose, just so you can clown him after. You know what I mean? So all the haters were ready with their pitchforks, ready to, you know, dance on his body, and he never lost. But you're ready for it. And so you can say, oh, he's just a defensive fighter. He's boring, whatever. But you tuned in. You paid your pay-per-view money or illegally streamed it, whatever. You paid attention just to see if you would lose because you wanted to see him lose. Some people would know I like that. They want to see Noah lose. A lot of people at the Olympics last year in Paris, basketball fans, because he pissed them off, wanted to see Noah lose. Even if they're American, they're like, no, I'm watching the 100 just to see anybody but Noah win. And then he won. But they were vindicated after the 200 when he lost. But they all tuned in just to see whether he's going to win or lose, or he's going to pull it off or not. So that's what we need. More people watching. They just need to have a better strategy in the mixed 4x4 relay. I agree. If your strategy doesn't win, then try something different next time. But now they made it mandatory that you have to have, was it man, woman, or something like that? Like you have to have a set order, and man has to go against man, and woman has to go against woman. So they took the fun out of it. So, anyways, far. Okay, so some other things that we have in the sport, y'all let me know in the comments. What do you guys think? We have 1v1s like Carsten versus Mondo. Did you guys like that? I thought that was hella entertaining. Should we have more of those? I definitely think we should. But, you know, they called each other out. They had a big spectacle of it. They had some pre-races. You know, they had a big sponsor behind it, Red Bull and stuff like that. I thought it was dope. Should have more of that. Super spikes. I mean, does that cross the line? You know, like a lot of people like to see fast times. Do you think improving the technology is crossing the line? Should we keep it even with history? Should we stop innovating the tech, getting faster tracks, faster spikes and stuff like that? Or should we keep pushing the envelope, see how fast the human can get? Sports betting. I had a graphic for that. Here we go. So this is actually me from back in 2023. Someone said, if you make track and field a betting sport, ticket sales will shoot through the roof along with media attention. And I said, to this day, I have no idea why it's not one of the biggest betting sports out there. So many things to bet on. Now think about this. You can bet on reaction time. Who's going to have the fast reaction time? You can bet on who's going to get in the blocks last. You know what I mean? You can bet on who's going to be first to 10, to 20, to 30, to 50, 60, 70. You know what I mean? You can bet on who's going to have the fastest top end speed, fastest splits. It's just so many, fastest reaction time. It's just, there's so many things you can bet on. And it's like, we have racehorse betting. Why don't we have humans betting? I mean, I guess people could throw the race or whatever, but that's in any sport. We just saw, what's his name? Jonte Porter get in trouble for that, and Malik Beasley get in trouble for that. So yeah, okay. A couple bad actors might happen, but overall, you know how much money in track and field could be generated if we had just regular sports betting? I know there's some like forms of it. I think DraftKings had it at the Olympics last year, and there's I've seen a couple meets that do it or whatever, but I'm talking like widespread, like everybody's in on it. You know what I mean? Like the way that they bet on, have parlays on the NFL and the NBA, like we can increase so much in popularity if we just had regular sports betting. But y'all let me know, does that cross the line? Are you more of a purist? Does that ruin the sport? I don't know. So sports betting, fantasy track. Speaking of fantasy, why don't we have fantasy track? I remember they had roster. That was one of the best things they had in track and field. It made me care about events I'd never watched. Distance races, steeplechase, the throws events. I was paying attention to all of it because I need those points and I need to study. I need to learn who's hot, who's on a streak, who should I avoid, who's going to ruin my parlay. We made that more mainstream, made that bigger. Think of where the sport would be. A lot of people don't even care about the NFL, but you got like moms, sisters, brothers, guys doing all kinds of fantasy drafts this weekend. I got 3 this weekend that I'm doing in NFL. I don't even watch the games. I don't have time to watch that, but I can watch the stats. I can watch the numbers, and it's just a social event. You know what I mean? So we really want to push track and field into the mainstream. Like we need more things like that. That's all I'm saying. And then, okay. Then we had this. Y'all remember this? Back in 2023, Sha'Carri came with her orange weave, took it off, had the braids underneath, still won the race, but a lot of people were like, oh, she could have ran faster. She ran 10:71 or something like that in the first round, and then the finals really ran 10:84, or what was that, 10:82? Robert Griffin III, football guy who won the Heisman, rookie of the year in the NFL, had a good career. He watched his track. He paid attention and said Sha'Carri Richardson tossing her wig off before running 10:82 to win the 100-meter U.S. championships was TV gold. I mean, the purists who all they care about is time. They're like, oh, she should have been focused. She's, the antics, whatever. No, she should have been focused on running through the line, blah, blah, blah. But for me, I said TV gold that brings entertainment to the sport. It makes it must-watch TV. She won, made the team, and put on a show. Yet all the track and field fans want to do is complain about the time she ran. Shake my head. Reason number 82 why track and field isn't more popular. So obviously I was defending my teammate. But let's be for real. Y'all remember that moment? That stands out. If she had just done her thing, ran a normal 10:7 or whatever, cool, it's a fast time. But she made it memorable. She went viral with that. This is why she's one of the more popular athletes, because she does moments like this. You might remember when she ran in fishnets? You know what I mean? She didn't even make the team that year, but people cared to see Sha'Carri step on the line because she always brings something new, And so she's one of the more popular athletes. Obviously she's one of the rawest talents we've ever seen. And she's a world champion and all that stuff. She's won medals. But even before that, people were paying attention because she brought the swag, she brought the the attitude and the nails and whatever. She gave people more stuff to talk about other than just track and field. And that's what we need in the sport. You know what I mean? Like, how many things we talk about LeBron off the basketball court? Like, obviously, I think he's the GOAT. But, like, LeBron is interesting off of the court as well, on his social media and all this, brand stuff he does. Like, you got to give people more stuff to talk about. And in this moment, that's what Sha'Carri did. But y'all tell me, did she cross the line? She should be just focused on running the race, running through the line, no wig stuff. And it had a story behind it too, like 2021, obviously she didn't get to go to Tokyo. So she's like shedding the old her, becoming a new person. Anyways, it was a cool story. I liked it. But obviously the track and field fans just wanted her to focus on running fast. That's all they care about. Times. Okay. Do I have anything else?